A thought terminating cliche is something that a presenter will do to you to get you to think a certain way before they give you the information, because they want you to kind of be on board without you giving a lot of thought. So, thought terminating cliches, blanket statements, logical fallacies, they're all basically designed to do the same thing. It's loaded language, often passing a folk wisdom intended to end an argument and quell cognitive dissonance. Its function is to stop an argument from proceeding further. So there's a lot more to it than that. It's all related to blanket statements and other type of logical fallacies. Instead of giving an open-ended question before they open up a debate, like this kind of looks like this or this kind of looks like that, they're going to say this is exactly that, this is exactly that. Then they give you your information. So let's look at an example of these thought terminating cliches. Here's some right here. Specifically, look at this one. Communism has nothing to do with dog culture. Well, if you were to tell me communism has some elements of dog culture, but not as many as you might think, then that would not be a thought terminating cliche. But this right here is approaching the thought terminating cliche blanket statement. Communism has nothing to do with dog culture. Actually, communism has a lot to do with dog culture. So does capitalism. So does a profit based society. So do many other things. So do headaches. So do car crashes. You could make a blanket statement and say, car crashes have nothing to do with dog culture because dogs are dogs and cars are cars, and dogs do not belong on the road. But dogs do get on the road, and they cause car crashes. So dog culture does have something to do with car crashes. Not everything, but I would not say that dog culture has nothing to do with car crashes. It's just like with anything else, it's like propaganda. The person that's doing this video, before they give you a chance to think about it, they're just telling you how to think. And they're also doing it in a couple other videos. Anti Natalism is not synonymous with dog culture. Well, you haven't met some of the dog owners that I know that are anti natalism. But it's a thought terminating way of thinking. It's not saying let's look at anti natalism and see what connections it could have to dog culture. It's not opening the statement like that. It's opening a statement telling you how to think. It's kind of funny but sad because this channel that I'm showing you, they have made several videos about these thought terminating cliches in the past, and now they're doing the same thing to you. This title, Communism Has Nothing to Do with Dog Culture, they're using a thought terminating cliche, a blanket statement. It's a form of using propaganda. It's a form of a logical fallacy. They're using it on you as the viewer, even though they know exactly what it is. So it's even worse when you know what a thought terminating cliche is, and then you're using that. It's even worse than if you just kind of accidentally used it because you live in that type of culture. Now, now, communism has nothing to do with dog culture. I already know that this channel is rebutting some of the things that I've said, but again, I never said that communism has everything to do with dog culture. So you see, he's coming back. He's coming back at my point with a logical fallacy. When I talk about communism and dog culture, I'm drawing parallels. I'm also drawing parallels to capitalism, but communism does have a lot to do with dog culture. Everything in this world has something to do with something else. It's just the world that we live in. People that were imprisoned during the communist regime, they ended up writing books. I'll put a couple examples in the description. But those books were not about communism. Those books were about their personal thought process that they went into because they were trapped in a communist regime. But their entrapment in communism shaped their life after they got out of the communist prison, like the gulags and other places. So you could say, well, communism has nothing to do with people being free to write books. Well, it does in a little bit because the person that wrote that book was a communist prisoner. Like everything has something to do with everything. The amount of rain that the city gets 40 miles away from you live affects how many people come to your city during a sunny day to buy breakfast burritos. You know, everything is connected. So to say that something has nothing to do with anything, that's just a thought terminating cliche. And Yeah, just want to point that out. This is where I start to lose respect for my fellow dog culture critics when they just they start talking like this, like expecting you to just think a certain way because of whatever. But yeah, thought terminating cliches are starting to infect the dog culture critics. Look out for it, and in the long run, these aren't good to use. So see y'all later.